Good morning from Cochin. Today I am off to Karnataka for a beautiful tour being organized by KTF, the Karnataka Tourism Forum. It is a coffee and coast tour. It's going to be a 5-night, 6-day program, and I'm going to run you through as to what I will be experiencing in the coming days. So sit tight and enjoy. Good morning from Bengaluru. We have just landed for the Coffee and Coast tour by Karnataka Tourism Forum in Bengaluru. And what a beautiful way to start the day by visiting the new landmark at the Bengaluru airport. Apart from the new Terminal 2, there is a beautiful statue which has come up right here. And here it is. What you see behind me is the statue of the architect of Bengaluru.
The Statue of Prosperity is the statue of the founder and architect of the city of Bengaluru, termed widely as Nadaprabhu Kempegowda. It was recently inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, in presence of the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Basavaraj Bommai.
For any successful and interesting tour, you need to have a good chauffeur along with us. So on this tour along with me is Jagdish, who's going to be the guide and chauffeur for us for the rest of the trip for the next 5 days. Say hello to everyone, Jagdish.
Hi.
He's going to drive us around the place, all the destinations that we are going, and I'll be showcasing it to you one by one.
The drive to Chikmagaluru from Bangalore is an interesting one. The first 20 to 30 kilometers is quite a stretch because you are passing through the crowded city area all the way till Trincoor until you turn from Nelamangala towards Mangaluru. On the way, you stop at interesting places like Adichunchanagari, Chandrayapatna, passing on the outskirts of Hassan before actually arriving into the coffee land of Chikmagaluru. It's a beautiful stretch of roads all the way till Hassan, from where it deviates and the road development is on. A bit bumpy from there on until we reach Chikmagaluru, but then the sceneries around us and the smell of fresh air covered it up for the bad roads. Our stay was booked in Silver Sky Resort in Chikmagaluru, which happened to be a beautiful, well laid out resort with cottages. And the way it has been developed across the terrain was beautiful. The sight of the cottages, the natural surroundings around it, made it a very attractive property to live in. And luckily, I got a ground floor cottage in a cluster of 4. It was a beautiful villa spread across about 500 square feet, lovely layout of the room and a beautiful layout of the bathroom with an exquisite and exclusive balcony. In the evening, we gathered around for a wonderful inaugural ceremony to welcome all the delegates of the Coffee and Coast tour. It was an informal function but very well structured, with welcome kits being given to all the delegates and some amazing music alongside some wonderful food and cocktails. Day 2 began early in the morning at 5:30 with a wonderful trek to the beautiful Mulyanagiri hills to watch the magnificent sunrise. Post that, we came back to the resorts and then headed off to the B2B networking, which was organized by the KTF at Bindiga Resort, where we met hoteliers, homestay owners and tour operators from Sakleshpur and Chikmagalur, or the possibility of doing business together. Subsequently, we split into groups and headed off for property visits. And since I had seen most of the properties which are on the list, I decided to take a detour and visit one of the heritage properties in Chikmagaluru. A property which was constructed in 1780 by Aralguppe Chandregowda. Known today as Aralguppe Heritage, this is absolutely a stunner of a property. Aralguppe is not just a homestay, it is a story. The rich heritage coupled with royal touch.
Today I'm headed off to Sakleshpur from Chikmagalur. It's going to be a beautiful drive through the green plantations of coffee and nature, with a little bit of history falling in between at Belur. It's going to be about 2.5 hours, bumpy roads for a while, and then it's pretty decent, I'm told. So let's take this drive.
So we started our journey from Chikmagalur towards Sakleshpur, and the sky was overcast. We were expecting rains, and rain kept us company all the way till Sakleshpur. We passed through Belur and had a quick stop for breakfast at Belur, as idea was to reach Manjarabad Fort before heading to our destination so that we could cover one more place in our itinerary. So the drive was quite interesting since it was overcast and rainy. The weather was pleasant. The roads were not that great. We had a lot of bumpy tracks and route, but then overall, looking at the surroundings and the duration which we had to cover, it was worthwhile taking that trek. It took us about 2 hours to get to Sakleshpur from Chikmagaluru. So we started from a coffee destination to another coffee destination with a lot of nature around it. And we decided to explore the Manjarabad Fort.
So that was 253 steps all the way up to the Manjarabad Fort. So 253 steps above, we have arrived at a more or less plain from where there are no more steps and it's just a small gradient to climb. So let's take a look. What's in there?
Expectations were very high, as the imagery and the videos that you get to see on the social media was making this place look awesome. But I must tell you, personal experience once I was there was absolutely disappointing. This beautiful heritage monument is in total shambles. You can see absolute neglect from the side of the government, and of course the people are there to vandalize the place. I hope the government will step in soon to ensure that this is taken care of. We moved on to a property visit to Tapovana Resort, where they had laid out a beautiful lunch and we could explore the property. Thereafter, we went ahead to Machan Resort. That was the place of stay for us for the day. So we went and checked in there, enjoyed the landscapes, and it was time to hit off for a trekking. We got off from our Innovas and got on to the local jeeps, which took us to the foothills of the Western Ghats, and from there we took a soft trek all the way up to the hills, and we could see an amazing view from the place. It was a bit late in the evening for us to really soak in and spend some time there, but then it was a good experience. We climbed down, headed back, and it was a beautiful evening which was wound up with a lovely specialized dinner.
It's a rainy day yet again on day 4 as we leave Sakleshpur towards Udupi via Bengaluru. It's going to be a 6-hour drive. It's going to be a long one, and it'll be afternoon by the time we get there. And now, from the high terrains of Sakleshpur and previously Chikmagalur, we are heading on towards the coast. We are done with coffee and we are heading to the coast to showcase some beaches and what Udupi has got to offer. The idea behind this entire exercise is to showcase new itineraries through explorations. And we are doing that in person and would like you to also look at this itinerary. To be honest, this is something very different and different itinerary, not normally done by people, and that's the new about this entire exercise of coffee and coast tour. So see you again after a drive on the beach.
The drive to Udupi through the Charmandi Ghats was a beautiful one. And luckily for us, the climate stood good and it was a pleasant journey all the way till Udupi. After going through the stretches of ghats with hairpin bends, we moved down to the plains and reached Bengaluru. And evidently the temperature also changed from a cool climate to a humid climate. And then we could feel the smell of the seashore. And by the time we got to Udupi, the sight was bewitching as I was entering one of the cleanest beaches that I've seen off late. And that stood out. That was the highlight. And when I inquired, I was told that there is a machine which has been kept aside just to ensure that the cleanliness of the beach, which was absolutely wow. And there I could see activities happening like paragliding, banana boats, and all of the stuff. Activities were available over there. I checked into my room, had a quick wash, and moved on to our next location, which was St. Mary's Island. So from the beautiful Malpe beach, we moved to the point from where I could catch a ferry towards St. Mary's Island. Everyone boarded, and it was quite a fun on board as people were seen enjoying the music and dancing to the tune. St. Mary's Island has got a rocky bottom and it is unsafe to dive or to swim here. People are clearly told while coming to the island that you cannot swim and it would lead to accidents. So if you are looking at taking a swim, then Malpe Beach is the place where you should be looking at. All the activities which is available on Malpe Beach is available at St. Mary's Island as well, but there is an exclusivity. The crowd is less, so you could try that all here. Once we were done with the St. Mary's Island tour, we boarded the ferry back and came back to the same point where we got offloaded and waited for the cultural evening, which was to be conducted on an open theatre near to the ferry venue, and we had to witness Yakshagana, the classical dance drama of Kannadigas. What a performance it was, one of the best that I've seen till date. Day 5 began with the visit to the Udupi Sri Krishna temple, which is a well-known historic Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Krishna. The Matha area resembles a living ashram, a holy place for daily devotion and living. Surrounding the Sri Krishna temple are several temples. The life around the temple is something to watch and experience. Personally, for me, the revelation and the highlight of the Coffee and Coast Tour was the Hastashilpa Heritage Village, a creation by a maverick creator named Vijaynath Shenoy, who was born to a family of utensil traders and Ayurvedic suppliers in Udupi. He was pained to see the ancient architecture along coastal Karnataka being razed to the ground to make space for modern buildings. He was completely distraught by the callousness of the building owners, their lack of appreciation for craftsmanship, and their urge to modernize. With the advent of the modern houses, Nuclear Families and the Land Reforms Act, these houses were facing destruction from their owners. His solution transformed to what is now Shilpa Heritage Village. After retirement, he became an architectural heritage conservationist. He believed that the architecture represented people's lifestyles and their expressions. Our ancestors have created a legacy of culturally profuse structures using conceptualized thought, ingenious technology and skill, which needs to be preserved. Mr. Shenoy went into extreme details by researching and talking to the families about the stories revolving around the house. Houses once identified were photographed, videographed, meticulously measured, labeled, documented, and transplanted to the site and then finally recreated. The Heritage Village of Shilpa Trust is a multi-dimensional cultural project which aims at restoring and conserving our country's cultural wealth. Village, such an amazing museum, is still unknown to the world. We moved to Savira Kambada Basadi, that is a 1,000-pillar temple at Mudubidri. The temple town is also popularly known as Jain Kashi of India since it is dotted with many Jain temples. After the visit to Mudubidri, we came back to Malpe Beach to relax and unwind on the beach as this was our last day. Needless to say, over the course of 5 nights and 6 days, we were exposed to some of the best cuisines that Malnad region had to offer, be it vegetarian and non-vegetarian. And our last day of the tour was a revelation as Udupi vegetarian was simply outstanding. To say, a great team is required to organize an event of this scale, and the KTF team members played a fantastic role, and not to forget the fantastic fleet and team of Urgent Tours who have always stood out in terms of service, did a fabulous job yet again. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the notification button if you like this video, as I leave you with the final videos of the concluding ceremony where the local MLA and district collector participated and their feedback by the participants of Coffee and Coast Tour.
Udupi is one of the best place for tourism, and temple tourism is there, beach tourism is there, adventure tourism is there. In Sita Nadi, river rafting is there. You have if you go to Kodachadri, trekking is there. Tourist, lot of places are there. So you please promote our Udupi.
I'd like to congratulate Karnataka Tourism Forum for taking such a good initiative, especially as our Honorable MLA mentioned. It is a kind of breathtaking event kind of thing. It's a path-breaking kind of event you have organized.
This is Anshu from Ashoka Dream Holidays. To give you a gist, I had a great week at the Coffee and Coast opportunity to travel to Karnataka, organized by the KTF, that's the Karnataka Tourism Forum. It really opened up my eyes to what Karnataka has to offer. The earlier perception of Karnataka, and now after exploring it through what KTF showed us, is completely different. Karnataka is a very warm and welcoming state, and we got to experience the both sides, the coffee growing county as well as the coast. I was really impressed by the coastal region because the beach was so clean, plastic free and completely environmental friendly. And the food every day was just delicious. They made sure they fed us all the local delicacies and showed us the enriching flavor of Karnataka. For us, we'll make sure we sell Karnataka very enthusiastically to our end customer, making it a complete different perception for them, just like how it changed for us.
Hi, Coffee to Coast is an excellent initiative of KTF in highlighting the pristine surroundings and unspoiled by nature of Chikmagalur and Sakleshpur. Malpe Beach is an exotic destination for beach lovers, and Udupi, which is till now known as a pilgrimage destination, has so much more to offer. Heritage destination of Shilpa is also a beautiful place to visit and a must-see. Thank you KTF, and kudos to the KTF team for arranging such a fabulous event.
Hello everyone, this is Savitri from Travel Savvy Mumbai. I was fortunate to be a part of the Coffee and Coast fam trip organized by the Karnataka Tourism Forum. We explored places like Chikmagalur, Sakleshpur and a part of coastal Karnataka during the fam trip. We also visited a lot of properties in these destinations. This gave us a first-hand experience of these places, and we are now definitely more confident of promoting these destinations to our clients. The B2B meets organized were also very informative and helped us build new collaborations. In the process, we also made a lot of new friends from the fraternity. Thanks to Ravi sir, Ramya and the entire team of Karnataka Tourism Forum for the wonderful hospitality and arrangements. Looking forward to being a part of many more such informative programs. Thank you.
Hi friends, this is Anand Krishnamurthy representing Earth Tones Travel Solutions, Mumbai. We recently had an experience of Coffee and Coast organized by Karnataka Tourism Forum, covering areas of Chikmagalur, Sakleshpur, Udupi, Malpi Beach. The experience was phenomenal. We had great resorts, the food was fantastic, the travel arrangements were really comfortable over all these long distances. So we are seriously promoting these destinations, and I hope they get the recognition in tourism that they deserve. Thank you.